started, you know that there's a lot of people physically just don't do stuff well. This particular system that I'm setting up for a free website, free quote engine, free everything, it's really dependent on you to put the website your own domain name. It's dependent on you to make this website suitable for your business. And as your business changes, to change it to something else. To move up the search engine, which is the easiest way to get leads nowadays, it's Google Local, Google Maps, similar to Bing. And on that, you have to do something which would be.
I'm lost in those things, David, because I really got out of the computer before that all the kind of that stuff took off.
Jorge, let me cut you off. Okay, you may say that you're lost in it, but I'm not sure if you've ever been to a restaurant. If that's like in part of your daily or yearly stuff that you do, you may have said, I need Italian restaurant. You punch in your phone the word Italian restaurant and something pops up. It'll be a map or something. As a business owner, you should be saying to yourself, this is something you need to do as well. So it's not that complicated. The only thing I'm telling you is the secret sauce. The secret sauce happens to be original content and time on site determines the rankings if you're at the very top or you're way down at the bottom. That's all I'm saying. All Google is trying to do is figure out who the real businesses are. Your job as a business owner is to some way, somehow convince them that you are the real deal, and they will put you at the top because as a consumer, I need to
follow what they call the algorithm.
Jorge, I'm not sure if you're listening to me. That I just told you the algorithm. The algorithm is Google wants to stay in business. They want to prosper. They want to give people what they're expecting, so they go there and come back over and over and over. So Google is always trying to figure out who the real companies are. If you give them a red flag with the big words, I am not a real company and I'm lazy and I'm hardly in business, that's a pretty good indication that they should not put you at the top. And I can tell you, having a website which is completely copied content is not a good idea. So when you did, Jorge, you mentioned to me when you went into our back office and you started clicking around and you noticed that we have 100 header images to choose from. We also had the video options and you could edit every aspect of these websites. That's specifically because this is the secret sauce. This is the algorithm. It's up to you to implement. It is up to you to implement this algorithm, which is just being in business and playing with the rules of the game, and that is the scoop.
I like the wording that you have on the paragraphs. Are you telling me that I should go in there and add more words or take some off?
Okay, Jorge, I'm going to say it one more time. Maybe you should be sitting down while I'm saying this. Google is trying to figure out who the real companies are. A pretty darn good indication of who someone is, if someone is not a real company, if they have a copied content website. So if you do not have the writing skills or you do not know how to ask someone else to rewrite stuff for you, you'll keep the identical content that close to 13,000 people have started out with. And you can imagine, even if these 13,000 people know exactly what you know quite a few of those 13,000 people still will not edit the website because they don't have the skill set to do so, or they're just too lazy, or they're hardly in business. So you know what to do. I'm telling you what to do. And that's another reason why it's physically a terrible idea to hire a web designer to build your website, because even though you and I and the website company knows what needs to be done, there's no guarantee that he's going to make you original content. You have to make sure it's done yourself, and it's not very difficult to write 1 or 2 paragraphs. The vast majority of people who become licensed insurance agents have done at least 12 years of school. I would imagine during maybe an hour or 2 of those 12 years of school, there was a writing course on the English language or the Spanish language or some language which allows you to make original content, maybe write a couple of sentences or a paragraph or 2, and that's all you need for original content. I do have this call 6 days per week. That's Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am doing a YouTube live stream. As I mentioned yesterday and the day before as well, because I am doing a live stream, I am not. I will not mention insurance company's name. My company, NAAIP.org. We're a website technology company. We supply websites and quote engines to over 13,000 licensed agents. And as an aside, insurance companies need agents. They need people to sell their products. So you can imagine the easiest way to get agents to sell a product is to offer them substantially higher commissions than anywhere else in the business. And that's exactly what we're doing. On a negative, almost no one else is doing our technique, which is simply telling you, here's the highest commission, click here, sell, have fun. That's my technique. That's my company's technique, but no one else is doing that. They tell you, hey, we've got great training. We've got this, we've got that. In the meantime, they grab all your, or a decent chunk of your commission. I'm also on screen share. One more time.
I want to know about those live feeds that you're talking about, that they're $8.
That is correct. I'll go into that in a little bit. I believe as well. Gary gave us a call about live transfer. And also, I did speak to another person today about I spoke to Gary today about the live transfer leads as well. So I'll get into that in a little bit. In the meantime, I am doing a live feed on YouTube, and I also have a Facebook page. Or actually, one of the people that work in my office has a Facebook page with 4,700 friends who are primarily insurance agents, and I would like to make this live on their computer as well. It says here the word live video, and I'll do it on hers to get get more people excited about what we're offering. What happens is, let me just mention, if I mention the insurance company's name in this system, inevitably these other marketing companies complain. And they just complain because it's this is the profit, and we're all these many of these marketing companies are on the same high commission level, or at least the major ones are. Video. Let me just get this on Facebook as well. And one of the techniques we're doing is actually becoming friends with everyone on Facebook who claims to work for these different multi-level marketing companies. And the person that you see on our screen share has 4,700 friends, which is quite a bit. And let me see if I'm doing the right USB device setup. Let me see what this says. Default USB. Okay, it's all good. I'll just click here, go live. Boom. I'll do a nice shot. Boom, it's done. Okay, we are good. Okay, in the meantime, I will go into that lead system, which Gary wants to hear about. And I also am doing screen share. I am doing screen share on uberconference.com. At the very, very top of NAAIP.org, it says the word video conference. If you click that, you see me, you see my screen, and I will be going into my password protected back office, which you could see right now. You know that when I say the word, we have 13,000 over people that have signed up for the system in the last couple of years. It's right in front of me. That the reason I know the is admin panel, which you have access to. 13,043 people have signed up. The last person to sign up was Mr. Parker. Hi, Mr. Parker.
David, listen, you're doing a great thing. Thank you for finding out about me when I got my license 2 years ago. Now I can kind of run, and I have to now start making money from all of this. But I'm fully certified in Medicare, HIPAA. I have my arrows and
okay, we are good. Jorge, I'm glad to hear that. I am definitely glad to hear that. Let me get other people on this call. I believe Angelica is on this call. Angelica, can you hear me?
Okay, let me see how I can get going with my phone.
Yes, I'm here, David.
Hi, Angelica. Angelica, you were on this call yesterday. We had a very, very good discussion, which you could see on our YouTube live feed. Just me speaking, none of the screen share. And in fact, I went into very detail by far the number one lead system out there, which is called incentive-based marketing. Literally, people wake up in the morning and they have to think, what can they give away to potential clients? What can you do to cause yourself to be well liked in the community and well known in the community. And it's a beautiful way to avoid driving all over the place and doing this, selling stuff, talking to people who don't even remember who you are. In fact, the system that we're using, which is free websites, free quote engine, no strings, no catches, is an system, and it's successful. There's no system in the history of insurance marketing that one person, it's just myself, one person has caused over 13,000 people to sign up for anything. And you can imagine there should be a lot more people in this system besides myself. It's myself and a computer programmer. And we're at the tail end of this project. I should mention the tail end means if you log in to NAAIP.org to your password protected back office and you see how beautiful this technology, how this technology is superior to anything you could buy at any price. Since we are on this screen share, I'll click around, I'll Google the word financial advisor website. And you'll notice that the company that shows up number one happens to be a company called financialadvisor.com. In fact, I'll do it right now. If anyone's on my uberconference.com or on YouTube, you can see my screen. Financial advisor website right here. I click it. First one that pops up is advisorwebsites.com. Click over to pricing, website plans. It mentions here starting at $99 a month. This is if the person pays 12 months in advance. Otherwise, it's 10% more money. So it's $109 a month. Traction, beautiful, nice plan, book a demo, compare our plans. The only thing that between expansion and traction, expansion includes videos. I saw this quite a few weeks ago. I believe it's all going on 3 months. And I told my programmer immediately make video. He did a beautiful job. We now have video at the top of the website. We uploaded, I believe, 27 videos to choose from, but I would highly recommend that you guys input your own video. Very easy to take your high-powered camera like this, move it to the side, take a video, 10 seconds, people standing in one place, and it looks beautiful. In another couple of weeks, since we'll have another 60 videos, I realized how successful it was. I told the programmer, find more videos and upload it as an example, but that's besides the point. In order to get the video for this company called advisorwebsites.com, instead of charging $109 a month, they jack it up another $100. So you're up to $218 a month if you're paying on a monthly basis. If you want to get the website branding, they've got their big logo at the bottom, extra $300 a month. Besides that, they have a $2,500 setup fee. If you speak to them 3 times, if it's only 2 scheduled calls, it's only $1,000 plus other items, which if you want, you could take a look at yourself. We offer these websites, no strings, no catches, no, but everything is based on quality. Quality is what matters. The average person who walks around, wakes up in the morning in the United States of America, makes $1,000 a week. If you're good at a job, which is commission sales, a financial sales representative who's successful, your salary really should be double. So you're talking about $2,000 a week, $100,000 a year. And you can imagine spending $200 or $300 a month is not the end of the world if that's something that will help you close. I click here, example websites. If you're looking at if you're not seeing my screen, you go to NAAIP.org at the very, very top. It says the word video conference. You click it, it'll take you right here through uberconference.com. Here's an example website. Example website, processing request. It's a little bit slow. This website does not load fast. They have the video at the top, which means this particular company is paying $219 a month. The video is going forward, which is a good idea because it's going to reverse itself afterwards. And it just gives you a headache when it reverses itself. If you're going to put a video at the top of your site, it's probably a good idea to have the people standing in one place. It just comes across much better. We've got 2 gentlemen, Greg and Brian. These are the people paying $219 a month. And what's really sad about the website, it's not very good at collecting client information. There's no phone number at the top. There's no call to action, which causes people to input name, phone, and email, which is how you guys make money. But the worst thing, which I believe is somewhat criminal, I did mention to Jorge a little bit ago about the keys of moving up the search engine. It's dependent on original content and time on site. All Google wants to know who the real companies are. A very good indicator.
I have a question. Does it have to deal with the $500 that tell me every so often, sir, to get a Google listing? Or
Jorge, company, you would imagine paying $219 a month, at least they would get something good. We see it's not good at collecting client information. We see the video was done poorly going forward, then it reverses itself. But the worst thing is it's copied content. And the way you check for copied content, you take 10 words. Let me just take this 10 words. It's on the front page. So I suppose this is the most likely place where the web design company would invest to make sure it's good. So I take these 10 words, I put them in quotations. And you will notice very easily that the first 10 pages has 10 websites that has the identical content. The second page is another 10. I suppose this goes on and on and on. It's all copied content. If you ever speak to me on an individual basis, not during this conference call, you may have noticed that I speak very fast. If you think I'm speaking fast, and at least I'm not trying to get you off the phone, but that's what happens during the day. The reason is because I'm waiting for my programmer and my web designer to finish up a few items on this website so I could get in business of contacting these hundreds of people who have this $200 or $100 or $300 a month who are being taken to the cleaners. We have a website, even though I say over and over and over, it's free in all. After you get to 50 hits, 50 hits, there will be advertisements on your website. To get rid of these ads, I'm not asking you for $300 a month or $200. I'm saying, please give me $14.99. That's it, $14.99. I do use the words it's free and always will be, which is a beautiful way to get people into any system. If you do not want to pay the $14.99, that's acceptable. You'll have ads on your website, or you could sell through us on the companies we're pushing. We have game-changing higher commissions on everything we offer. All you have to do is click the word, please send me contract. You tell me what you want. There will not be any discussion. There will be any cajoling. These will be game-changing good deals for you. We're pushing two particular life insurance companies. One is a final expense company. The final expense company did give me permission to name them online, but I don't want to name them on this video. There's a decent chance next week they'll tell me I don't name them online, then I'll have to delete the video, which is a big pain in the neck. It's just easier just to not name the company on video at all. But if you go into our password protected back office under latest news, it does mention the company. And I can tell you this is the one company out there that has 5 different whole life policies, everything from guaranteed issue to preferred. And we start all agents at 122%, which is a good deal. I know there's a pretty famous marketing company out there that's all over Facebook. And I believe I did speak to someone earlier, and I mentioned this is level 145 according to that other marketing company, which is virtually impossible to get for that other company, but they do advertise that there's a level 145, but that's besides the point. The other company that we're pushing is a top 5 major insurance company. When I say top 5, we know it's a big company that primarily those companies specialize in retirement planning, in index universal life and whole life, big whole life policies, all that good stuff, as well as annuities. And I can tell you it's very similar to New York Life. And the reason I mentioned New York Life, it's probably the most successful company over the last 100 years. New York Life agents only sell New York Life, and they make a living. So we've got a similar deal with, in fact, we've got a similar product line with major insurance company. It happens to be a mutual insurance company, which in my personal opinion is what people should be selling. If you want to wake up in the morning and make a living, please get contracted with a major insurance company as well as a final expense company. You learn those product lines and you will make a living. As an aside, the website technology that we give you will help you come across as a top-level professional, and hopefully good things will happen. We do have additional people on this. I believe Johnny from Texas. Hello, Johnny. Can you hear me? Angelica, Jorge, Jose.
Yes.
Hi, Angelica.
Hi, David. I'm later on. I'm gonna need help on my website.
Okay, let me mention what I'm really pushing people to do is realize the importance of incentive-based marketing. Incentive-based marketing means you give someone something that causes them to really like you. That's incentive-based marketing. And I'm not sure if Gary's ever done this from Tennessee, but if you hang out at elementary schools and you hand out candy, you'll have a lot of friends. Gary, have you ever tried that? You've never tried that.
I ain't never tried that.
I get you. But so the skill set to make these websites is simple. It involves a little clicking. The logic about moving up to the top of the search engine is simple as pie. I explained it to Jorge in how many minutes did that take me to explain a logical explanation of what causes stuff to move up the search engine? That was a 3-minute explanation. That's all it is. It's completely logical and it's completely true. Imagine Jorge, who said he was in the computer industry in the back in the day. Then he got burnt out. So he's a technical guy. He's a smart guy. He's been experienced in computers for years and years. And he had no idea what the importance of original content and time on site. Imagine if you give these websites to business owners, a guy who fixes plumbing, electrician, these guys who work for a living, not white collar people who, wear a button shirt and stay clean and go in front of a computer. These are people that walk into houses. They make a couple $100 for every house they walk into for a very short period of time. And these guys need customers. If you need money and you need a top-level financial planning company that specializes in, I mentioned retirement planning, which is what we're able to offer. Mutual insurance companies are paying 5% on whole life policies. Index universal lives have been the hot product for many, many years. The average middle to upper income person is spending $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 a month on this type of financial vehicle. Someone has to sell it. I know a lot of people come into the system. They say, "Hey, I'm looking for final expense," but you have to have one final expense. You have to have one real life insurance company. If you combine those two entities, you can make a living. If you've got a lead system, which is second to none, you will make a good living. And that is the scoop. Let me just mention about this. The explanation about moving is as simple as pie. The stuff about editing the website is pretty darn simple as well. But it's not a 2-minute explanation. In fact, I'm on my website itself. I'm on uberconference.com. You could see my screen. I know Gary could see my screen. I will click this button, which is a different browser, and I'm going to log into a website. In all, you click. Just keep in mind, the more clicking you do, the better writer you are. If you're not such a great writer, we've got some templates there that don't have much writing. If you want to keep the same content that we have, it's understandable. Just don't expect the thing to move up the search engine so much, but it's aesthetically it's pleasing. And aesthetically, one of the main reasons you're getting a website anyways is to come across as a top-level professional. But in the meantime, what I'm really trying to get people to do is put the website on their own domain name, do the proper steps to let's just stop there. If you get the website in your own domain name, and you send out emails and business cards that have a domain name on it, which is professional, you are more likely to close the deal. Remember, for the vast majority of your customers are looking for a professional person to buy something from. Give them every indication that you are that person. Let's not give them hints that you're not, that you started in the business last week. Anything you could do to cause that to happen, and I suppose having a beautiful website such as, joesmithinsurance.com that has a logical saying to it that that the people have the impression that you haven't been doing this for 2 weeks is probably a good place to go. I am in a gentleman named Shaw's back office. It says here templates. You got 6 templates to choose from. You could choose anyone. I should mention the first 2 templates are more wordy. Wordy is better, more content or Spanish content, whatever language you want to make it. These you can imagine, based on the algorithm of search engines, stuff that has more content is more likely to move up. And I could see just with my naked eye, even without clicking or previewing, I could see that these 2 have more content. I could also tell you that your job is to impress people, and one of the most impressive things you could do to make someone feel comfortable who's a hypothetical or potential customer is to put yourself out there. Your picture. I know the classic insurance, it has the picture of the insurance agent in a bigger mode. It's a bigger picture. It has the contact. I'm not sure if you could see this, but it has the content. It has the phone number, the street address right there on the front page, right front and center. When people open up a newspaper, they read a book, their eyes go from left to right. If there's a picture in the top left, that's what you look at first, then your eyes veer over to the right. That's based on the English language being from left to right. One of the problems we had on the classic, it's a narrower template. So we did make the full width, which we had to get rid of that part of it. We had to make the insurance agent's logo or picture smaller. But in my personal opinion, anything you could do to make yourself more front and center is the way to go. But that is completely your business. Aesthetically, I know a lot of the industry is going to these wider templates, but your job is to impress people. Your job is to cause people to input name, phone, and email. If they see you in all your personal contact information, then immediately to the right, they see a quoting form. And the quoting form is asking for name, phone, and email. There's a better chance that they will fill that out. But it's completely up to you. The first 2 templates do have more content. Not a bad idea to change the content. Not a bad idea to keep the format that we have. If we write these short paragraphs, it's in order to be less likely to mess up if you simply keep the same format. Let me give you an example. I'm clicking view your site for Shaw's website. This is the wide version, which is also good. He has the video at the top. This is a video, but you could change it. If you don't like that video, you change header background. We got the single header image, which I believe we start at. When new people sign up, it always has one header image. I may change that to a which it'll be either 3 or 4 that will show up, but you could switch it yourself. You don't have to wait till we do it for you. You've got over 100 images to choose from. I did mention to Jorge that we are adding another 100 images, but in the meantime, these 100 are definitely a lot. If you click video header, you could upload your own video. I personally, if I was in this business, I would take a picture of myself being all happy and all professional. I would take my phone and flip it to the side, take a picture of myself, and then I would upload it. Me standing in one place, maybe carrying a briefcase, a laptop, computer, beautiful family left and right. To make yourself more out there, available, and accessible, you're more likely to close deals. You're more likely that people will remember that you exist. And that's what we're trying to do. Header image. Let me see, slider image. The reason we're more images, because now we have slider images where you could upload up to 4 images. And you could imagine, you know what a slider is, a slider show. It goes one, it's like a show. And that, so this is one click, 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 click. Let me see where I am right here. I X this out. This is one click. You want to make sure initially when we set up these websites, it's an NAIP logo at the very top. You'll make sure you change that to your picture. Please do not advertise my company. Make money and stay in business. If you do not like this Medicare quote engine at the top, switch it to something else or get rid of it completely. This is your business. You have to edit this to what you do for a living. This one has, did you know? You could change these words or you could keep it the same. I click to edit. You can see exactly what it is. I did tell the programmer to make these background images editable. Let's see if he did that. Yeah, he did it. This guy is doing a good job. Wow. Imagine that. I'm like happy right now because I see he did it. Try to edit as much as possible if you want, but this is your business. This is your life. You've got some ads on this website. I put these ads in specifically to cause people to not want the ads there. And apparently it did not work for this gentleman named Shaw. And that's why I'm using his website as an example, because I really don't care. He's had this website for the last couple of years. He put the website under his own domain name. He's probably hardly in business. Shaw did make some good content. Hopefully, if I take this content, which I just clicked it, hopefully he did not copy it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did copy it. In fact, the way I could check to see if he's copied, again, I would look around for stuff that should be original, stuff that's not legal-esque or anything like that. I do know he's missing a period where it says the word bills. So I would imagine that's probably the most likely place to be original, because it has a grammar error. So I'll take this. Let me go to google.com. Google definitely has better results than DuckDuckGo, which is the Yahoo. I put in quotation marks. Boom. He's done a good job. He's the only one there. The gentleman who's paying $219 a month does not have original content. Shaw has original content. I'm sure he's heard or he's done research and heard what I had to say. He decided to listen, and he's just one step ahead of everyone else. Specifically, those hundreds and hundreds of people who are paying, between $100 and $300 per month. So you with me, Angelica? I believe you can hear me. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me just click. All you do is click around this darn thing. It says view. Let me on this template. Let me see what it says here. I X this out. What else we see? Any place you see to click, you've got this update banner text. Specifically, we made banner images for all the major health companies specifically. Why did we make it for all the major health companies? Health companies, for the most part, give you enrollment links. Wouldn't it be nice to have the banner ready-made where it says, click here to enroll? You very easily put your enrollment link, that HTTP long one that goes directly to your enrollment website. Then you change it to display banner as a default. It will say the word hide from there. You may have noticed when you did sign up for the website, we did put something on your website about dental plan. Not a bad idea to keep that displayed. When you click it, it takes you to a place that says click here to get contracted. You can imagine I'm trying to encourage you to get contracted with that company. That's why put it on websites when you first sign up. Quite often people hide it, but I could tell you the reason I kept it when you sign up. I've seen a lot of success. You get paid 30% first year, 10% thereafter. I've seen a lot of sales coming in. This is one of the few companies out there that people will buy without speaking to a salesperson, and they pay the second, third, fourth, fifth. I see the checks coming in, and life is good. That's why we're encouraging this dental plan. So if you see on your website, if you don't see it on your website, Google the word NAAIP and the word dental plans, and our page will show up. You click to contract. Immediately thereafter, you go into your back office where it says that particular word, well, whatever those words are, banners and hyperlinks. You put your enrollment link here. I believe Shaw did it. You see it says dpbrokers.com/something. That's his direct enrollment website. The rest of these, I believe he spent a little bit of time on this. Display banner, he doesn't have a particular enrollment link, so he just has it go to his contact page, which is also fine. And that is the scoop. We also made, specifically a lot of stuff for health insurance agents, because health insurance agents, particularly when health insurance was a bigger industry, they like these banners. They're like, good, and ask us, call us, compare, enroll. Consumers are using 4 ways to enroll. You take whatever you want. If you need something else, you upload your own image. You would have to create it. I give you a link here, picresize.com, where you could crop stuff. You could edit stuff at pixel.com/editor. That happens to be a Photoshop website where you could play with these images, change the words, etc., etc. What you do, Angelica, you edit these websites to what you do for a living. And hopefully you'll think of me one day and say, hey, I would like to help pay the programming. You'll click that button where it says click here to get rid of ads. And it would be $14.99 a month. If you ever sell through us in the future, I will refund the money to you. That $14.99. And let me click around a little bit more. If we click here, NAAIP back office, there's a button here that says ads enabled. Click here to disabled. If you want to keep those ads there, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you a big thumbs up if someone signs up and contribute some way to help me pay the programmers. If you want to wait till you have a sale, you input the details of the sale. Whatever you input in this box, those banner ads disappear for 30 days. If you input 12 items in this box, I guess you would do it consecutively. For the next 12 months, there will be no banner ads on your website. And it's a very simple formula to encourage you people to contract through us instead of someone else. The commissions are higher through us. Someone did mention they sell Medicare products. We have every Medicare company in the industry as well. I'm personally highlighting the life insurance companies because there's a tremendous disparity on agent commissions between one marketing company and another. And I do know that in the state of California, there's one company that's doing a lot of business. I don't know if they're doing a lot of business, but I see them all over the Facebook. They start insurance agents off a 30% commission. I should mention the final expense company we are pushing. We start people off at 122. The commission levels are online. The major insurance company, major company, I do put the commission levels on in your back office under dashboard latest news. And let me see what it says there, which you could see yourself if you're looking at my screen. It goes into very specific details how we start people at 90%. And if you could show $100,000 of income, or after you make 10 sales, how should I say? We start people off at 100% commission. If you could show $100,000 of income, or after 10 sales. Otherwise, it's 90%, which is also very good. There's even the 90% is really, really good, but 100 is better, and it's not very difficult to get to that higher number. If you're into this recruiting business, ultimately, this is what we will be doing: a multi-level marketing company. Multi-level marketing is not a bad word if you're at top. It's problematic if you're not at top. And hopefully you guys, let me see, trying to log in. to get in. Lisa, at the very, very top of, and Lisa, if you're still here, it mentions your phone is, okay, let me go. I will go into that live transfer leads in just a moment. If you're into this multi-level marketing stuff, you're into recruiting, it probably is a good idea to be good at this job yourself. Then you could show other people how you make so much money. And we did, Angelica, we did go over that incentive-based marketing program yesterday where you offer wills and concierge service for final expense. You could offer websites and help moving up the search engine for business owners, especially if you're pitching for that major insurance company, which I'm encouraging people to get into. Lisa did mention about the live transfer final expense lead. Let me take a glass of water because I'm speaking so fast. It's like really fast. Anyone want to? Sure.
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I know the website is like I say, very beautiful and user friendly in certain ways. But if I can't get to something by myself, should we email you, David? Like for instance, if I need to add a page,
okay. No.
I don't mind paying for it.
Jorge. The only thing I request is when you're in a sales situation, it's really
right.
It drives me crazy when people do this. When you're
call you in a sales situation.
No, let me answer. When you need information from someone, when you're
right.
You're a salesperson, you get in front of people and to close deals.
Well, give them the information they want.
What I'm saying, if there's a method of talking, you get it. If your job, impress these people, give them information which causes them to be impressed by you. At the end of the conversation, you hand them the pen, sign here. You say, you agree with me, right, sign here. One of the big negatives I hear sometimes is when people ask a question and immediately thereafter they ask another question. It's completely confusing. Your job as a salesperson is when you see your prospective client doing this, which happens often, you have to jump in, cut them off. Because if you let those people do that, they're not listening to your answer. They're thinking about questions to ask. So you may notice when you do that to me, and if I let you do that, it means you're not going to be listening to my answer, and I'll have to repeat it. I'm wasting my time. So I have to cut you off in a very sharp manner because you ask 3 questions, I won't remember the first 2. I just want to.
Who can I ask for support on the website?
Okay, I will answer that question. The answer to the question is at $14.99 to get rid of these ads. That's the minimum. If someone gets rid of these ads on the website, the main thing we're trying to do is get people to use the website. I'm assuming if they don't put the website on their own domain name, there's a decent chance they're gonna forget they signed up. So if someone says, I'll encourage people to put the website on their own domain name with that step 1 and step 2. If for some reason someone can't do it, or they have a mental block, or they have trouble following directions, or who knows what, or extraneous circumstance, I will tell them, once you get these websites, once you get those banner ads off the website, the $14.99, or if you've made a sale, you could send me the username and password of GoDaddy or whatever company you're using, and I'll take care of it for you. That's first off. You can imagine if someone's asking me to do, the reason I'll do it is because it only takes me 3 minutes. If you click, let me just click myself, NAIP.org. Let me just get this first thing done. Domains. There's a step 1 and a step. There's also a 3-minute click here for YouTube explanation. That's step 1 and step 2. If it's easier for me to do it. than for you to explain it, because it only takes 3 minutes. If for some
I was asking about adding a page to the website. Who can we email if we can't do it on our own?
Okay, number one, you can do it on your own. If I click here where it says, I should if someone is paid for the ads and they're making sales on a regular basis, of course I'll do stuff so you could be on the road and continue making sales. Ultimately, my company pays its bills not by this $14.99. We pay our bills by people making sales. So if that is the situation, I am your personal servant if you're making sales on a regular basis. In the meantime, we've created a system, a technological system where it's very easy to figure stuff out. So I'm on this page right here where it says content, click to edit. In fact, I'll just go to the back office, make it a little bit simple. It says content management. Add new page. Voila, add new page. If you click this, you've just added a new page. Ideally, what we're looking for is not a one-hit wonder. We're looking for people who will use these websites as an incentive-based marketing technique, where you'll give these websites to business owners, ideally plumbers, electricians, all those type of people need help. If you think you're having trouble and you're a white-collar professional, someone who's worked in computers and tech a couple of years ago, and you're still in some authoritative white-collar position, imagine with these guys who wake up in the morning and they lift these heavy air conditioners, they install it, then they collect a couple of $1,000s for every customer they have. For every customer they get, they make thousands of dollars. These people would love to have professional websites with video at the top, moving up the search engine, Google local Bing places, all that good stuff. This is something that you can provide. And as a bonus, these these various life insurance companies, it's a very good idea to be completely knowledgeable about the rules in your state regarding incentive-based marketing. I do know in the state of California, there are no rules, or at least in fact, I can't even say I know, because it's up to you as the licensed insurance agent to know the rules in your state. In the state of Florida, there is a $100 limit. And I know that personally because I called, but probably not a bad idea to confirm that before you at least start advertising. And that's the scoop on that. But in the state of Florida, there is no limitation on giving away stuff to get referrals. But there's a specific $100 statute where you can't give more than $100 for advertising. You can't say I'll give you $101 if you fill out this form on Facebook to make an appointment with me. It has to be $99. But that's besides the point. And the value of these websites is ambiguous. What is the value of a website? I say it's 5 minutes of work. For someone else, you could hypothetically you could say this is a $2,000 website. But that's besides the point. Okay, Jorge. So as a first, I could go to your website. I see your situation. I'm assuming, since you are asking me to go out of the ordinary, to do something for you, which in reality you should be. I assume that you got rid of those.
No. Listen, I don't need you to do it for me. The reason I was asking is because since it is your platform, I don't want to go in there and add a page and screw everything up on my back.
I understand.
So that's the only reason I ask you. I write WordPress web pages, and other than that, I just want to know. I'm going to go in and tinker with it. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. And when I have a sale, then I'll put you to do it.
Okay, we're good to go. I'm glad to hear that. But I'm assuming you did get those ads off your website. Is that correct? That show up after 50 hits?
I'm paying $14.95.
Okay, so at least that's definitely a good thing. The reason I'm encouraging you to do it yourself, because only if you do it and you feel comfortable in doing this, that you could offer this type of technology to other people. That's all it is. And remember, if you're making sales through us on a regular basis, there's no $14.95. There's no $14. Dozens and dozens of websites that you've set up for other people. At a certain point,
I'm looking at building a company and your tool are perfect.
We still have programmers working on this system. That's why I have not woken up in the morning and called these hundreds of people who are being taken to the cleaners, paying between $100 and $300 a month. I should mention I just hired another computer programmer. His job is to add a CRM to the system. My main computer programmer says it should take 2 months. So I would like to, get that done. We will be adding additional videos and header images to there. What else? But the main thing, when everything is said and done, we are going to make this a white label system. We'll be able to offer this to other people, which includes other insurance agents. Those insurance agents will have no idea that my company exists, which is the ultimate recruiting platform. You can imagine if you go on Facebook a little bit, you see these companies. There's a major company that has thousands of agents, specifically in California. They specialize in non-English speaking people and from immigrant communities. They do a ton of agents in California, a little bit in Texas, but I've seen more in California. And they start insurance agents at 30% commission with some incredibly optimistic story about how you become a millionaire. That's their sales pitch. I would love to have a situation where there's someone like yourself who, click, who can recruit these people. You may not get them at 30%. Maybe you'll be generous and say, hey, I'll get you at 50%. This is completely your business. There'll always be, I would love to continue doing this conference call on a 6-day per week basis. But the one thing I would love to do is not offer any contracts. But right now I am offering game-changing, very high commissions in the hope that someone else or multiple people take over this enterprise. And all I do is concentrate on making this stuff better. And so we're talking about the white label stuff. Farmer says that will take another 3, maybe 4 months, but that's when everything changes. And there's a decent chance at that time I will not be offering contracts at that point. I suppose when we get the CRM done, and the next thing right after would be a phone system. And none of that stuff is that difficult. Anyone have a question or wants to say hello? Someone did ask about leads. Hi, Angelica.
Okay, I already have a domain that I haven't been using. So I don't need to purchase a new one, right? Because I have also email.
That is correct. That is definitely correct. So what you'll end up doing is going to NAAIP.org. Let me just go there myself. At the very top, there's a click there for leads, which we went over yesterday. There's also a click there for domains. Everything about domains is on this page. In fact, there was an error. I write these pages and I have to rewrite it all the time. In fact, I don't. This particular page has step 1 and step 2. You'll read where it says, if it's GoDaddy, is your domain name GoDaddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Here's GoDaddy's step 1 and step 2. Here's me making a video doing step 1 and step 2. If you follow that, it'll work. GoDaddy is the only company in the whole internet domain business that has very good customer service. The reason they have good customer service is because they successfully upsell people stuff that they don't need. GoDaddy can do step 1 for you. They'll happily do it for you, being on the phone with them. But it is better that you do, because it's so simple, and realize that you could do it faster than them doing it, because by the time you're on hold, you've already done it, because it only takes 3 minutes. You can watch the video of me doing it in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just make sure GoDaddy doesn't sell you privacy or hosting. All you need is the domain name. In fact, I've been looking at this error on this page for a while, and I never fixed it. I might as well fix it right now. It says buy your domain through GoDaddy at a discounted first-year price by clicking here. Be aware that the second year and going forward, it will be $18 per year for GoDaddy. In fact, that is not accurate. Let me click it and fix it right now so I remember it. Otherwise, what the heck? well, let's see, what's the name of my,
I've already have, I've had my domain for over 2 years.
I get you. But if you've got other domain names, what people do is went into this domain or business, they end up buying domain names that aren't needed. So if you have more than one domain name, it's not a bad idea to get rid of those other ones. Yeah, just get rid. It's very common. People get all excited. They think they're going to be a .com millionaire by clicking these buttons. They start you off at either 99 cents or $5. They used to have 99 cents. Then there was a company out there called Cloudflare who only accepted transfers. They started accepting transfers only, and they get you in at the wholesale price, which is $8.03. So what GoDaddy does is they get you in at it used to be 99 cents. Then if someone has bought a GoDaddy domain recently, you could tell me it may have risen up to $5 even with the coupon code. Then they jack it up to $10 last time I checked. Then only when the new contract is get going, let's say if you do 3 years, the first year will be $5, the second, third, and fourth on that contract will be 10. Then they'll jack it up to 18. In fact, the information which I have on the website is not accurate, so I might as well change it right now. That's on my memory. Anyone have a question or wants to say hello? Pages right here. What is it? What's the name of that page? It's called buy-domain. I'll just edit it right now because it was not accurate information. Okay, the wording was not accurate. It was NAAIP through GoDaddy. Be aware that the second year and afterwards on that contract will be $10. And afterwards, then it will be below you. Okay. I guess I would, you may not want to switch it after the first year, but when it goes from $10 to $18, I would personally switch to Cloudflare, since that is a meaningful amount of money.
Okay, yeah, so I can do that now.
Right, so that information I had is not accurate. Let me test it out. Like any change you make on a website, you always have to make sure it worked. It's like, did I really press save? Yep, it's there. Okay, we got Calvin. I've sent out invitations. I always send out invitations specifically to people that are not properly hosting, people that have recently signed up, or people that have advertisements on their website. As you can imagine, there are expenses in this business. We're hoping and praying that people contract through us at these very high commission levels. We're hoping and praying that people use this technology to become rich, which I would imagine would involve becoming efficient and proficient in setting up these websites, setting them up. And everyone knows business owners. There's no one that doesn't know someone who does hair, nails, air conditioning, plumbing, electricity. Everyone knows these people. If you could get them a website, tell them what to, or do it for them. Remember, these electricians that come into your house, they charge real money. Imagine if you cause them to have a substantially higher income, how much lower that bill will be. Everyone on this call gets their hair cut every once in a while. Give that gentleman who cuts your hair, or a woman who cuts your hair, help them make more money. People, it's life is hard. If you've got knowledge and you've got the ability to improve other people's lives, you might as well do it. This technology does it. The only thing we need is minimal monies to help pay our programmers and web designers and hosting. And we're not asking a lot. And that is the scoop. I believe there's a gentleman, Calvin Darby. Calvin, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Did I send you an invitation or you came here from another matter?
No, I came here, because I'm Sunday, and I've been doing some other stuff, so I haven't been able to really get in. I've been with you. I've had a few people call. I have you on my card, and they went to the website and gave me a call. And I do plan to try to get appointed through you on a couple of the companies.
Okay, let me just, Calvin, what I'm really trying to do is people that have this, when people come into our system initially, I like if they properly host the website. I realize that the tremendous amount of insurance agents that are halfway in this business, they're halfway. Errors and admission insurance, which allows you to sell the major companies, runs anywhere from $31 a month, which we have a link on NAAIP.org. If you scroll down, you'll see it. That's the cheapest you'll find. It's $31 a month. If anyone wants to click it, if you look at my screen, you can see it. It's right at the bottom. So that allows you to sell major insurance companies and the major Medicare companies. And we represent these companies. So you might as well get contracted at these super high commission levels. When we started this a couple of years ago, I had a deal where we represented 50 companies. We were contracting for 50 companies. On life insurance, that did not work. We're concentrating on two specific companies. One is a major life insurance company, a top 5 company. They have everything except final expense, and we get people at the highest commission levels. It's probably the easiest thing to do is to get contracted, learn the product line from top to bottom, and make a living. There's a lot of people who sell final expense. We've got a company which I do name on every email that we send out. And then also, if you click it, it tells you the commission level, which is 122%. You might as well learn that product as well. It keeps life very simple. The FEX, the final expense, does not require errors in admission. If you're hardly in this business, you probably don't want to spend the extra $31 a month, but that's besides the point. We also have all the Medicare companies. And if you send me an email specifically with the words, send me Medicare contracting, send me final expense, send me major insurance company, which I am not allowed to name on this call because we are offering substantially higher commissions than anyone else in the industry. And that would piss off a lot of marketing companies that are taking insurance agents to the cleaners. So I should even say that I have, they told me to be very, very appropriate and nice. So I do return that statement because the way this business works is if you offer something which is substantially better than your competition and they physically cannot offer what we're offering because this is high-level technology, their next step is to try to have you disappear. So I have to be very, very straight. But in the meantime, what we're offering is substantially better for you, and hopefully you'll take advantage of what is being offered. All you got to do, Calvin, is send me an email, but I'm saying the basic thing to come across as a professional person is a website on your own domain name. The next basic thing is to set up a lead system. And I did have the discussion with Angelica before, and it's on our page about incentive-based marketing, where it's probably not a bad idea to always be thinking of what you could give away to your clients to cause them to like you. And one of the skill sets, especially if you're selling stuff to insurance and for business owners, is retirement planning, whether it be an index universal life or a whole life policy from a mutual company, which is paying 5% interest. People are forking over $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month for those type of policies based on the commission rates that are available to you. You pretty much pocket that first year commission, so it's a substantial profit. It's not a bad idea if you could offer these people something which causes them to like you. I know there's rules in the various states of what you're allowed to give people, and we obviously have to adhere to the rules of your particular state. And that is the scoop. But as a minimum, what I'd like to see you do, Calvin, is get this website on your own domain name. Let's at least come across as a professional person.
I have had one with GoDaddy. I let it go. They still have it, so I can redo it. Very simple.
If you're planning on buying a business card, if you're the type of sales agent, life insurance, or insurance agent likes to have a business card, might as well get that website in order before you purchase the business card.
Okay.
And I could get.
I appreciate that, and I will get to my website and get some of that stuff done to you and email you today after I do a couple others here, and but I'm gonna have to go now.
Okay, Calvin, let me just mention one thing. We are pushing a major life insurance company, one of the largest ones out there.
Right.
And it's probably not a bad idea just to send me an email, get contracted. We'll get you at the very high commission level. And if you learn the product from morning till night, at a certain point, you have yourself a profession. The company we're pushing has seminars 5 days a week. And they've got tremendous videos and tremendous back office. But if you're into seminars and hearing someone speak about product, they've got a 5 days a week because it is a somewhat complicated product line or extensive product line and major company that needs people to sell their product, and they want you.
I also saw that. Do you have any PNC companies?
Property. We don't have property and casualties, so we just don't. But that these websites can be edited and highlight anything you do. If I'm saying it could be used for a plumber or an electrician, it could be used for a auto insurance guy. You go into the back office, you notice we have a auto insurance quote engine, all the PNC, the motorcycle, we put up. One of the 6 templates as a default looks very suitable for auto insurance people. You would probably put whatever template you choose, put the auto quoter towards the top, and that makes it automatically. You put a picture of the car or a video of the car at the top, and suddenly it's suitable.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. I'll get you that email today.
Okay, that'd be good. Okay, I'm not sure what you're going to email me. Would I'd love to get an email if you put the website on your own domain name, which is in your best interest. And instead of helping my company advertise, get rid of those ads, which is $14.99 a month. If you ever sell through us in the future, I will refund that money to you. I do click, click, click. It goes right back to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll see you then. Take care. Okay, let me go. I'm on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. Let me see how this YouTube. I was actually thinking of highlighting YouTube more and getting off less of this Uber conference because it seems like. Let me see what this share to groups. Let me see what it says here on YouTube. 2 people now. If anyone could go to my YouTube page, NAAIP YouTube channel, please say something, say hello to me, subscribe, make a comment. In fact, I'm on my YouTube page right now. It's called YouTube. Hi, hello. Someone did give a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Okay, there's a Jay in Mississippi. Hello, Jay. Gary from Tennessee. Gary, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me mention you did call live transfer leads. I might as well talk about that. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
At the very
Yeah,
top
that
of
makes sense.
at the top of NAAIP, there's a bunch of clicks, leads, domains, quotas. Let's click leads. That's our leads page. You've heard me talk extensively about moving up the search engine. Very simple formula,
Yeah.
original content, time on site. That's it. That's the secret sauce. If you go on this page, you will notice that it's virtually a Wikipedia of lead generation. A lot of good information. Your job as an insurance agent is to get in front of people and to close deals. You're probably good at closing deals. People that get insurance license feel comfortable that they're good at closing deals. That's why they get the license. No one ever wakes up in the morning and is good at getting in front of people, which is synonymous with the word lead. Your job, again, to get in front of people and to close deals, which is 2 tasks.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea to take at an academic level the whole issue of lead generation. This particular page is a Wikipedia. So what I would like you to do, which I would suggest to you, is to go through this page top to bottom. It has everything here. If I'm missing any type of lead generation technique,
Yeah.
please tell me. But I don't think I'm missing much because I've been doing this for a while. And that's how you got to us, because it is at the top of the search engine. You could imagine that multiple or every insurance agent marketing company, you guys are very much in demand. Everyone's trying to recruit you. They all want to be at the top of the search engine for stuff related to leads. This page has succeeded, and that's why you contacted us. And that's why we had the conversation earlier. I threw in the words life insurance leads, final expense, Medicare, $8 to get people excited. The goal was to get people excited. You called up. I said, hey, register, put the website, get into, check out what we're offering on the technology aspect. We'll speak in depth about the live transfer $8 stuff on this 6-day per week conference call, Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the meantime, you'll end up making more money because you notice we offer higher commissions than what you have elsewhere, and life is good in that respect as well. In the meantime, I can only do so much. I am not David Copperfield. I cannot invest. It doesn't exist. You can imagine live transfer leads generally run $35, $45, $50 a pop. And I'm advertising here, I'm stating here $8, which is tremendously different than that 35 everyone else. But it gets people in our system. But I cannot be a complete jerk. So I have to come up with something to justify me writing over and over the words $8 live transfer leads. And I will tell you what I came out with. Other services, I am reading on naip.org/lead-services. NAIP members will receive tutelage as to setting up lead generation, expert advice. YouTube and other lead companies are great tools for example sales pitches. Your lead generator Telepro should generate between 1 and 2 leads per hour. There are American companies, this is hyperlinked, you could call them. They will hire the Filipino for you and charge you $20 per appointment and schedule your day via Google Calendar contacts for you to run appointments. You will have to supply them a list of names to call. For the most part, that's Facebook leads or postcards or whatever else you do. And an alternative is that they will train you and your team to make appointments. If you look at this paragraph, it has a very weird statement. It says they will hire the Filipino. That is weird. The fact is, every live transfer company out there is hiring Filipinos. That's what they do. That is the whole industry.
Yeah.
These people are making $3, $4, $5, $6, sometimes $7 an hour. Right below this paragraph, it states home-based telemarketer marketplace. It's a bullet point, 20,000 phone pros, freelancers, software included. That's where you get people making $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 per hour. I would not suggest hiring a Filipino or anyone else unless you're good at it yourself. Your job as a licensed insurance agent is to get deals. Not a bad idea to be good at your profession. Once you feel comfortable that you're good at your profession, immediately thereafter, you want to teach someone else what you know, so you can bring someone in at $3 or $4 an hour. Immediately, based on your tutelage, based on your management skills, this person becomes much more valuable. And that's how you get $8 live transfer leads. I suppose if someone's making $8 an hour, they generate 1 lead per hour. Voila, $8 live transfer leads. But you could actually get a better deal than that. If a person's making $4 an hour, you've got extra computer expenses, extra such and such, database. If the guy's making, two leads every, an hour, and he's making $5 an hour, is actually less, but it's completely up to you. There's another click here where it says Filipino call center, minimum 4 workers, full-time $8 per hour, software included. You can imagine when someone works in an office and there's office expense and there's management expense, the cost goes up. If you could properly manage people that are working in their house and they're productive, that's how you make a living. In this business or any business you do, it's not a good idea to make the vendor rich. The idea is to make you a living, not someone else. There's no shortage of marketing companies or lead companies that want to empty out your pocket. And I'm pretty sure you did mention to me a marketing company that you've been associated with, or at least as far as I remember. And I do know that their technique is to empty out your bank account. I'm not sure you know this, Gary, but the tremendous amount of insurance agents coming to this business are not suitable for the job. And the marketing companies know this, the recruiters know this. So what they attempt to do is, make money somehow. And one of the ways they can make money is selling you leads. But in order to stay in this business, develop the skill set where you have a value-added skill that's never going to go away. So I suppose if you're in a life insurance or a salesperson, being good telephonically, being good face-to-face, if you can only be good telephonically if you're on the phone. It's not going to happen by itself. And you did mention to me you are doing telemarketing, and that's what you do for a living. At a certain point in time, instead of throwing that money to a lead company, throw that money to an individual person sitting in front of their computer who's good at what they do, and they're dedicated to you. If these people are willing to start at $3, $4, $5 an hour and they're good, that's probably the best way to expand the business versus the alternative. Yeah. But it's completely up to you. I've noticed these call centers that have succeeded, people that became millionaires from call centers. It's all dependent on 2 people. One guy's really good on the phone, and there's another guy who's good at managing the stuff. Either skill is important, but generally you need both skills, these call centers that became millionaires. There's also Mr. D'Amato from Texas. Hello, Joe.
Hello, my friend.
Just chilling. I'm on uberconference.com. I'm doing screen sharing. If you go to the top of NAAIP.org, it says the word video conference. If you click that, it takes you right there if you want to see my screen. We do see that Gary Parker was the last person to sign up. He's in the beautiful city of Memphis. In fact, I saw, let me ask Gary, maybe he knows about this. I saw that movie. It may have been on Netflix. It was about Memphis, Tennessee, about someone playing basketball or football. It was you saw that movie?
I ain't seen it. They've been making a lot of movies around here lately.
It was about a white football coach that was like completely dedicated, like he was like a saint. And it could have been was it football or basketball? And it was football. It was one part of town that won a national championship because of this coach.
Yeah.
Is this guy?
I haven't seen that movie.
It was a good movie. I'm pretty sure it's about Memphis.
Okay.
So if you have Netflix, you click, and you'll see that. You'll say, wow, that's where I live. I know that place.
They got Hustle and Flow and stuff like P-Valley and stuff like that on Netflix that everybody promoting now.
Right, but they had a pretty good movie. I'm pretty sure it was Memphis, Tennessee. It was somewhere around there. It was one of those cities in Tennessee. About a football coach. People, they love football in Tennessee. High school football.
High school football, college. Well, not necessarily college because our college team kind of consistently sucks, but they've been doing pretty good lately.
Well, because you look like an athlete, so that's why I'm mentioning it to you. You sound like you look.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm basketball.
Basketball was no, it was a football team. It wasn't basketball.
Yeah.
I saw it a couple of weeks ago. That's why it's on my mind. It was a very good movie. Okay, we do see Joe sent me a message. Joe does not look like an athlete. You know, I see Joe's picture. He doesn't look like you. He looks a little bit more of the smaller side. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm 56. So.
Okay, you got someone else's picture there who looks like he's 22 years old.
I don't know. I just logged in. It did whatever it did on its own, I guess.
Okay, if whatever it is, you look like you're from Philippines or Mexico, and the woman that you're standing next to is a 23-year-old girl from similar places. So I'm not sure if it doesn't look like anyone in their 50s there.
Oh, I see the picture up there now. I don't know how that got associated with me.
So Joe's a big guy. I'm saying he don't look like an athlete. He's probably.
I think that's the guy I talked to that does the call center from the Philippines.
How did that get associated with you? Maybe it's on my. Let me see. Let me just see. Maybe it's on my caller ID because this is going D'Amato. I have no idea. Let me see. Okay, I'll figure it out. That's not you. That's all you're saying. It's not you. It's not you. Okay, we're good.
One of those guys you were talking about just a minute ago that they'll $12 an hour.
Oh, there's two Joe D'Amatos here. Okay, I get you. There's two. I've got two. Are you from Texas or Grand Prairie or El Paso?
El Paso.
Okay, so this is it's one you called in from the computer and one is telephonic. I get you. That's why it's twice. Okay, Joe, you had a question of some sort. What was your question?
So, you mean if what I've done in the last 8 years, I've been selling property and casualty over the phone, and I do $50,000 to $75,000 a month. So I wanted to look at doing my own agency because there's companies out there that are offering they'll provide the back end service. In other words, they'll manage the customer service for you, and basically they pay you 90-95% commission, and you're just a salesman, and they manage the side of the business that I don't want to manage.
Okay.
Customer service, adding a car, deleting a car, that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's on the property and casualty. I believe that's a business model for property and casualty. My company happens to have the best contracts on Medicare, annuities, life insurance, final expense. We don't have any of this property and casualty stuff. What we've done is we have a website portal which can be used for any business, which includes auto insurance, quota, anything else. So what would I try to do is encourage people to use the services that I'm providing. In the future, I would imagine if we get to 50, 60, 70,000 agents in the system, some property and casualty system will approach me and say, hey, get me people like Joe. But it hasn't happened yet. You're more than welcome to use our website technology to make money. All you got to do is sign up, put the website on your own domain name, edit the website to what you do for a living, and life is good. If you need contracts for the various life companies or Medicare, I will get you the best deal. When it comes to life insurance, the deal you mentioned about the PNC does not exist. Life insurance companies, for the most part, pay much better, but they're completely dependent on the relationship with the salesperson and the client. That's why you guys are getting paid. The insurance companies, for the most part, that are doing stuff let's say final expense or something telephonically generally has a higher cancellation rate. And generally, you're not selling these big whole life policies or these big index universal life retirement planning vehicles. That the insurance agents that make a living, that's primarily how they make their money. They get them in on the simple. They get them in on the simple term. Then if it's a mutual insurance company on a no risk basis, the extra money goes into a 5% if it's a mutual company. So you can imagine if someone's making 60, 70, 80, 100, $200,000 a year, if that person has life insurance and they could pour safe money in, that's going to gather 5% interest, what's it called? It's called tax deferral. And eventually it becomes tax free. And it can become a pension plan or retirement plan for the business. That's how a lot of insurance agents make money. And that's one of the things that I could offer you. We're hooked up with one of the largest life insurance companies in America that specialize in that type of program. The other thing that people sell telephonically is final expense. Final expense traditionally is to low-income, unsophisticated older people. These are people where if they get slammed on the phone, they tend to forget what they did, and they pay 1 month and they cancel immediately afterwards. And even on that, face-to-face generally offers better deals because there's less cancellation. But the major insurance company we work with, Final Expense, does sell stuff telephonically as well. The major life insurance we work with, is completely technically good, so you could sell stuff telephonically. But I'm just telling you that a lot of these, I've noticed the agents that make good livings are selling these retirement type vehicles at $300, $400, $500 a month. And it just so happens the reason I'm a little bit more excited about it is the website technology that we offer can be used for any business, which means if you run into a business owner, you could help them with their website. If you're selling some guy an $800, but it's completely up to you. One more time. You're under, all I do is get people in this system based on free website, free quote engines, and all that good stuff. Afterwards, we throw these ads on the website after 50 hits, and I tell you to get rid of the ads, give me $14.99 a month or sell through us. If you ever sell through us in the future, I'll give you back the $14.99. It's a very simple formula. We're always making this website better and better. It's superior to anything you could get, which is definitely a good thing. It's good for people that sell auto insurance. You could not get anything better as a auto P&C agency. You might as well use our stuff. It's suitable for that, and we go from there. That's pretty much the scoop.
Okay.
I try to keep stuff cookie cutter.
I got you. I was looking at P&C because that's where kind of I cut my teeth and have experience, but the final expense was, there's just a lot of people when you get on the internet that are promoting final expense, become an agent with us, make a ton of money.
Okay, Joe, let me jump in. The companies that are recruiting final expense agents, final expense is low income, unsophisticated, older type people. There's a lot of low income, unsophisticated Americans that don't like the idea or the fact that they work at Amazon warehouses or fast food. You go out on a date and the girl asks you, what do you do for a living? And you tell her, I work on an Amazon or a fast food. It doesn't sound good. So the sales pitch that they have is you get an insurance license, which you can get it on a 40-hour online course. It's a very easy course. You'll print up the test.
Yeah,
Suddenly you tell all your neighbors, I'm a financial service professional, and it just sounds much better. But that does not necessarily mean that they'll doing that in next year or the year after. And that it's very, very common. And you've got these marketing companies that specialize in bringing in these new agents. And oftentimes what they do is they empty out their bank accounts selling them leads. They say, hey, how much money you have in your bank account? Oh, let's sell you. Let's take 80% of that money and buy you leads. But let me ask Gary. Gary knows more about this than I do. Gary, what I'm describing, is that some realm of reality, or I'm completely off base?
Yeah, that's really reality. I was actually supposed to be on a call that somebody's exactly kind of like this process, but they don't get your own website. It's under their umbrella, and that process was going to cost me about $5,800. So I've been making pretty good, but I was like, I'm not going to spend $5,800. I've spent $2,000 on leads for the last 6 months, and I'm like, and those leads are. That's why I was thinking about the inbound transfers. But
right, I get you.
Generate your own leads, $5,800. It's not $14 nothing a month.
Right, it's not nothing like that. But but like anything else, there are people making money on everything. If you wake up in the morning and you sell 2 or 4 of these policies on a daily basis, you'll be rich in a period of time. But they are, anytime you've got hardcore recruiters going after like a lot of them, you mentioned they're all over the internet recruiting for this thing, it's because someone's making money off it.
Yeah.
It's like,
it makes sense, man. It's just that, man, they have to get you. You gotta, because everybody sells and everybody got their sales voice on, so you gotta kind of see through it.
Right. And it comes down to commissions and tools. And it just so happens I'm pushing my technique because it's the computer stuff. It regenerates itself. Even though I'm saying $14.99, I'm saying please give me $14.99 to get rid of these ads. If you got enough people giving you $14.99, it pays the bills as well. Then ideally, it's as a long-term plan. Based on us having multiple tens of thousands of people in our system. If you're gonna sell stuff, you might as well sell stuff good for you. And my company gets a teeny bit, which is still better than nothing, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And that is the scoop. And
hey David, I got a question.
Hello, Jorge.
Yeah, I went to the website. I was trying to find those scripts that you mentioned too in the last. I saw some scripts that are there recorded, but is there a paper one that I didn't find that I can print, that I can call people with?
Jorge, I'm gonna go through the logic of those sales scripts, and Gary mentioned that he works on the phone. Identify with what I'm talking about. At the very top of NAAIP, we got leads, domains, quotas, and if you go to our lead page, there are clicks to what we're doing. But if we go to sales tools let's just go through this final expense phone script, selling by phone, because I believe that's what I sent you over. If you Google the word selling final expense on phone, this page will appear towards the top. I write these pages, which are designed to have good time on site, and inevitably they move up. If you scroll down, you'll see the sales script. I say scroll down, and I'll read it. Final expense telesales script for setting a 1-call appointment or 2-call closes. I color coordinated it. What you say, what they say, the explanation, it's in different colors. The basic logic, okay, you look at this. It's not something that if I explain to you, it's going to make a difference. You get in front of a computer, you put on a headset, you work for 8 hours a day for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Eventually, you will get good at it. There's no question about it. That is the technique. I could explain the logic behind the sales pitch and I could give you the words, but it's not going to make you a living. You getting in front of that computer and you at a automatic basis speaking, week 1, you'll be at 40% level. Week 2, you'll be at 60%. Week 3, you'll be at XYZ. At the end of the day, the job is to get a profession in where you could say to yourself and honestly that you are really good at this job. And then you could flip over to that hiring Filipinos at $3, $4, $5 an hour. You know the process. You realize that they'll get better at it as well. And you'll pocket all the money. And that's how you have a business. But in the meantime, what I figured out by doing telesales for multiple years is you have to have an intensity about you. You have to be sitting up straight. You have to be intense. If you work in a call center where the boss is always threatening to fire you, or if I worked in a call center that had 100 employees, they would fire 10 people every week. And that makes you pretty intense. This was when I was in my early 20s. And after 11 months there, I was pretty good on the phone. When I started, worked there 11 months, so I got good on the phone. Every job I had afterwards, I excelled at. And the reason I excelled at every sales job I had afterwards was specifically because of that 11 months in this call center where I was on my toes, afraid to get fired. What they taught me is you say the same thing over and over. That's one thing. So when you're face to face and you realize you have to think about what you're saying, if something works, you have to remember that and you repeat the same thing over and over, and that's generally a good technique. But the general rule of sales, as a general rules on telesales, is the goal is not to get hung up on when you first call them. So you have to think logically, what would cause people not to hang up on you when you first call them? My name is first name, last name, upper income city. If you live in Hialeah, you're wherever you are in Miami, or what city do you live in? You're on mute. Okay. What city are you in? Jorge. Okay, you keep on. Okay, Hialeah. Okay, if you're calling people that Hialeah has a great reputation, say my name is Jorge from Hialeah. If you are pitching a product where it's not the stereotypical place that they're looking to deal with, maybe it's better to the product that I was pitching older upper income people years ago. So specifically for that product line, it was upper income city. But people love stereotypes because they believe that stereotypes are the suitable people for a particular product. And it causes people not to hang up on you. So the word was, I am first name, last name, Senior Alliance of Miami Beach or Boca Raton. Why? Because charities, for the most part, are located in their headquarters are in upper income places. You can imagine the March of Dimes. They're on like Fifth Avenue of New York. Because they've got all this charity money coming in. If somehow, some way, you could have these people think you're calling from a charity or some sort of organization, they're much less likely to hang up on you. Initially, when you speak to them, your goal is not to get hung up on. If you've got an anchorman type voice, you're going to be less likely to get hung up on. I'm not sure if anyone's seen that Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he was in Africa looking for diamonds. Anyone see that movie? Blood Diamonds?
Yep, I did.
The gentleman had a South African accent, perfect South African accent. And I suppose that's one of the reasons he's living in a really big house, because he could pull off these accents and he's an actor. If you say the same thing over and over and over, the same 10 or 20 sentences, there's a much greater chance that you could come across as a beautiful anchorman or whatever they're looking for. Most people are looking for these anchorman type voices, and that's the less likely people to hang up. Okay, once you get the point where you're not being hung up on, which will happen if you sound the part, the charity, and everything is good. You give people exactly what they want. Afterwards, your goal is to have these people somehow, some way believe that you're a professional, that you're the expert. The way you get people to believe that you're an expert is to give them over information. If they have information or facts or information that causes them to believe that you're an expert, they don't hang up on you if they're in this industry. Initially, when you invite them into the conversation, and if you cause them to, if you speak in a manner which causes them to think, the logical thing that they're going to think about is, why are they letting you interrupt their dinner or their favorite TV show? So you have to speak in some sort of manner where there's no pausing, where it's interesting, where it's somehow that they believe you're an expert, that's interesting. So one of the big points that I recall, you never ask open-ended questions at the beginning of the conversation, because if you ask them a question, they're going to think, and they're inevitably going to think of why am I letting this guy bother me? Then they go, click, they're gone. At a certain point in time, you say a paragraph or two with factual information, which should cause you to be believed to be a needed expert. At that point, you'll ask them, Mr. Jones, you are in this industry, right? You don't want them to speak too much, because if they think, they'll hang up. If it's an open-ended question, they hang up. At a certain point, when you've given your case that you are a needed expert in this business, that's when you could get into the more of the conversational. And that's the generic sales pitch. If they believe you are a needed expert, they will want to deal with you. They will want to have a conversation with you. They will want what you're offering. And Gary, that's on the phone you mentioned you're on the phone for how long?
Since October.
Okay, October, November, December. That's a couple of months. The sales pitch that I described, is it pretty accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. So there was a product I was selling multiple years ago. I wrote an article on the internet, on this website. It was selling final expense, or selling Medicare, or selling annuities. So when I wrote one of these articles, it went to the top of the search engine, and these other products that I had no idea about, I just changed the words, and then inevitably, if you Google the word selling annuities over the phone, or selling final expense over the phone, because it's the same sales pitch. And the way you develop these sales skills and these muscle intonation, where it automatically comes off the tip of the tongue, is by doing this for 6 months in a row in an intense environment. If you have the wherewithal and the gumption and the desire, you could do it in your home. I guess now that we're in COVID-19 and pandemic, there wasn't much of a choice. So it's not like you didn't have a choice. But a good way to pick up this skill, especially for a younger person who needs a job, if they're sitting in front of a boss and they have to pay their rent, they will pick up this skill set whether they like it or not. It's relatively hard to force someone in their, as they get older, hey, you must be intense for 8 to 10 hours a day. The U.S. Army and the Marines, they generally don't want people who are 45, 50 years old to come into their boot camp. Yeah. The 40-year-old guy's gonna be like, do I really want to be this intense? But once you pick up the skill set never goes away. So every sales job you have afterwards will flow like butter. And
David, I'm going to have to drop out. I got to go meet with my accountant, but I found this to be very interesting, and I'll probably pick up another call here in a day or so.
Excellent. Do is use our technology. If you need contracts for the stuff we have, you'll just send an email with the words, please send me contracting. I'll get it over to you.
Okay, I'll do that. I appreciate all your help.
I'll see you then. Take care.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Bye-bye. We have Beatrice from Florida, Hunters Creek, Florida. It says on caller ID.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you, Beatrice.
Okay, I'm just listening. Very informative. I've been selling PNC for short. I've been licensed for several years. However, I've never partaken because I'm a full active real estate broker and mortgage broker.
Right, I get you.
With more concentrating on mortgage. So I'm trying to add this line that I've had this license for years and never did anything with.
Okay,
I entered through the PC.
What I've noticed, as you can imagine, I've been in this business for a while. When I was doing this years ago, when I first got into it, if you keep stuff relatively simple, and which is what we're trying to do now, we've got one major life insurance company. If you send me an email with the words, please get me contracted for that one major company, you've hit a huge portion of the business. Especially, I've mentioned a few times.
So I had someone contact me, and I think they're you're supposed to be calling me today to set that up.
No one in my company calls anyone. If you send me an email with the words, please send me contracting for major insurance company, I cannot mention the name of the company because we're on Facebook and YouTube. And my company is offering substantially higher commissions than anyone else in the business. But if you go into the password protected back office of NAAIP, it does hint to who the name of the company is. It's a top 5 company. The last email blast that I sent out mentioned those words as well. So I will get you a better deal. So if you go through us, it'll just be more money. That's pretty simple. The other life insurance company we're pushing is a top level final expense company. I can mention the commissions on there online. It's 122%. If you go into your password protected NAIP back office and mentions the name of the company, I just don't want to mention them on YouTube because these, I may get a phone call from them say, hey, take it down. Then I would have to take down the whole video.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, I will do that. I'll send you an email.
Just send me an email what you want. I'd like you to get a little bit more specific. One of the huge negatives in this business for new agents, people get contracted, they don't learn the product, that nothing happens. All it does is create paperwork. So one of them is a major financial service company, very similar to New York Life. Similar product line, IULs, big whole life, pension plans, annuities, all that type of stuff. The other one's a final expense. We all know what final expense is. Simple stuff, older people, put the body in the ground. So if you tell me which one you want or both, I'll get you over contracting. It just so happens the major insurance company happens to be paying appointment fees for everyone coming in, which is expensive. It's $60 in the state of Florida. So if I send them enough people who don't learn the product or sell the product, eventually they tell me, have a nice day. That's why it's pretty dangerous. These companies that are offering low commissions on this company, they can end up losing their contract because people don't sell it. So I don't know why they're doing it, but hey, what the heck? Okay, I am on YouTube. Let me see who's on YouTube. I may end up switching this over to YouTube also. Instead of advertising uberconference.com, advertise YouTube and build up a big channel. But in the meantime, there are a couple of people on this YouTube channel. If you could comment, if you could subscribe, I would much appreciate. It just so happens I'm doing screen sharing on uberconference.com. There is a way for me to screen share on YouTube, which I just have to click a couple of buttons, and maybe next week or the week after I'll have that figured out. And that
license is going on.
Yeah, I've been here. PNC gets a lot of PNC. I don't know what to tell you. Geico is pretty big in PNC, but there's other companies. State Farm.
I'm getting PNC inbound transfers now because they didn't listen to me when I said I wanted life insurance inbound transfers. They would refuse to give me my money back.
Well, did you send these people a check or a credit card?
No, I just sent them a transfer.
Wow, that's not good. Wow, that's probably not a good idea.
How much did you pay for those leads?
I think I paid like $600.
Wow. Let me ask Gary. Gary, I promise you the moon. Please, but I don't accept credit cards. Only wire transfers. I will give you the moon. You can't give people credit cards. You can't give people wire transfers. Even checks are a little bit, unusual.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have Adam on this call from California. I should mention I'm about to get off the phone. I do have this call Monday to Thursday at 12 noon Eastern time. Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You probably read it weekends and you forgot today was Thursday. But in any case, Adam, I'm still on this call. I've been here for 2 hours. Adam, do you have a question from California? Mr. Adam from, it says here, San Diego, California. If you're on uberconference.com, I'm about to get off this call right now. And not right now, like another minute or two. So Gary, whatever I did about the $8 live transfer leads, I guess it doesn't even compare to what these other people have done.
Yeah, man. Shoot, I just wanted to get involved, and I did the transfer with the other life insurance company. I just sent it to you. I don't know if you got it or not, but yeah, I'm ready to get started.
Okay, the only thing I'm not asking for a lot. This is a very long-term enterprise. Long-term is long-term, so we're just hoping for the best on that particular transfer which I just glanced in my inbox. For the most part, the insurance company will not allow me to increase the commission for 1 year on that company. So if you're at that low commission level that you mentioned, if you could come up with a sob story, some beautiful written letter, email saying, hey, I'm a top dog in this industry, and if it's convincing, the management can override that rule. Otherwise,
I haven't really sold any policies with them anyway. With that company, I just got appointed.
It would be 6 months. It would be 6 months without making a sale. So, Are you over 6 months since you signed the contract?
No, it's about 3 months.
So the email that you sent me won't work. I mean, that filled out form won't work. We would have to revisit that in another 3 months.
3 months.
Unless the upline is willing to sign their name, which you could request and see what they say.
Yeah, they're not captive. It's just I gotta talk to their contracting.
If you tell them you have to work in a full-time call center and you need a job, and the job that you're about to get to pay your rent, and you're no longer independent, sometimes they're more likely to agree to sign the piece of paper.
Okay.
Maybe they'll.
I'm gonna just act for a release form or something.
Right. It's the release form that I sent you. I know it's on a computer. I could email it. I could get it over to you if they'll sign it. Or you could ask them for a release, but I'll send it to you, and you'll give them a copy. First, they have to agree. If they don't agree, that's a problem. Okay, we are good to go. We are good to go on that because you're not going to sell it anyway. So, what's the point?
Yeah. I need to know that writing stuff too, because IULs through other companies kind of have tighter guidelines.
Right. This company is I'm planning on going full force with this company, but it just so happens they're very they've got a huge marketing network in I can't say, just about it's not even just about, pretty much every company out there recruiting for this company is at much lower commissions. And apparently these other marketing outfits are working. And they're telling me, don't mention our name online. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
I might have to get a release from a lot of different companies.
But you're going to notice if you learn the product line of a major insurance company and let's say a final expense company, you're pretty good to go on life insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really sell to different companies.
Right, to keep stuff relatively simple. To keep stuff simple.
Yeah.
Okay, we are good to go. I have to get going. I do appreciate y'all coming here today. The gentleman named Adam. Let me see, Adam. Let me see if he's still here. No, he took off. And that is the scoop. Okay, we are good to. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I do appreciate coming, Gary, Beatrice, and I'll be here Saturday and Sunday, 2:00 in the afternoon Eastern time.
All right.
Take care.
Great, thank you.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.
I sent you an email, by the way, so.
I'll see it. I'll see it.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. Right now I'm on YouTube exclusive. I should mention, I do appreciate all the people on YouTube. You're looking at me. If you were on uberconference.com, the link is at the top of NAAIP. There's a link, there's a click there that says the word live conference. And you could have seen my screen. We could have had a conversation with each other. And the next call is Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, as well as Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Then it flips back to 12 noon from Monday to Thursday. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up, make a comment. I would love to be a star on YouTube. It hasn't happened yet. Hopefully you can help out on that endeavor. I will end the call right now. Take care. Bye-bye.